But we're going to continue here. Because quite honestly, I have the basics down of naval invasions, but I'm not. They've even moved away from the harbor there. No, what's the command key for that? Keys, okay. There's a command key for this. Oh, Z. Okay, that's it, Z. Okay, so I can possibly land there or there. That gets you the idea of where we could land. I guess here's the best. I don't have enough landing craft. Okay, that's sort of why I saved this. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just quit here. Yeah, I should have been checking that. Yeah. Not ending this or anything. We're just going to go back, quit to load back this in. Because I want to just retreat with the whole force. Okay, so we have to build more landing craft for Britain. We're going to get these guys out of the ship right now. Okay, so, well, you know what that means? We need to build more landing ships. And of course I could have and I should have, but we'll do so now. Because that's the goal, is to move into there, cut off the railways. And that's why I got them out of the ships, so I can use some of the ships to move them up there. Now they're cut off. See, that's what I just didn't understand. What the hell they were thinking about that movement? Okay, now we're going to let these guys rest. Okay, they hold, but they're now cut off and chopped up pretty badly. It's somewhat better. Where did I just see? Did I see a big fleet in the horizon? No, okay. Yeah, there's not much to do there right now. USA stockpiles at 600, so we should be building stuff. These will be useful later on. Oh, and down to support. Let's make sure we have landing ships. Landing ships are used up when you land. We have 90. Yeah, 90 is good enough for now. Well, no, we'll produce some more. Another 20. So like when this was saying I needed 30, that was going to cost us 30 landing ships. The transports aren't used up there unless they're sunk or something. So they're not lost just because you use them. Like I say, I want to be doing a whole lot more. Oh, we've got another core ready for Britain. So let's put that down. Let's deploy that here. It won't let us deploy that in the harbor, so then we can maybe move it the first turn, I guess. Don't want us to do that. Before I deploy anything else, oh, I need too many. We need more transports too. Okay. Yep, we need more. Oh, I was on the wrong nation, wasn't I? Okay. Merchant marine, landing ships, merchant marine transport. We have transports coming, but 43. Okay, let's see if we can get some built sooner. Yeah, it's still going to be February 43. So yeah, we'll build some more, but you know, we're going to move you out to Hawaii. Feel a little bit underprotected. Yeah, this is doing okay for countering the invasion, that's for sure. All this is holding along here very well. Yeah. Keeping a fair amount of troops occupied. Okay. We needed to look at India and oil. Yep, they need more oil. Why aren't we, the USA, sending? We got 60 oil coming in. Let's create a convoy USA to India. We already are, it looks like. Okay, so we need to cancel the trade. We're sending 10, so let's continue the 10 because we want to get that up. And let's do 6 oil for them because we got 60 coming in. That's okay, they got 10 oil. Okay, I don't think we're using 10 oil up. Care about the Soviets, Australia. 249, okay, they got a decent stockpile. Yeah, that's the one we're taking care of. Okay, that'll be better. We should have done that a little sooner. All right, I'm just checking, make sure we've deployed. Oh, we have more to deploy. That's right. Cancel. Get these guys off of San Francisco. So we put those right on there for next turn. And similarly, we're going to put those on there. And I think that is, oh, let's cancel. I don't want to deploy one of those. Just looking to see if anything else has anything arriving. Been a while since I looked. Yeah, nothing. Right, interesting challenge, because this has really delayed any sort of push up into the Guadalcanal area. But destroying 2 armies and a HQ isn't a bad thing either. They pushed us back there. I don't know what they're trying to. You just get if they move a unit into here, you'd just be surrounded and much more easily destroyed. Because I'd easily move one of these guys up. See, partisans are breaking out and temporarily at least getting control of some territory. Some of the reaction that you're seeing are, I'm not really checking it out, from all the forces moving around, are the Japanese dealing with partisan uprisings in China. Okay, I believe it is this fleet here that is low on supplies. Yeah. I could use an oiler to keep them supplied longer, but I'll just keep moving them in and out. Well, they're back. I just don't know if I want to confront them. We'll think about that for a little bit while we look around some other areas. All right, well, that's sitting behind a river. Let's see, we can move the unit. So they can attack across Chidwin, I guess. This is the Irwadadi, the main branch there. Okay, so they can attack across here, but it's not going to get them anywhere. They could try pushing north against these guys. So if they get, I think, Lado, they cut off the lend-lease to China, though it's fairly minor, but still it's helpful. Here they got 3 units they can attack here, but I think he'll fall back to there. We've got this British Army Corps, but I want to keep it. Well, okay. Landing ships, November 42. Well, that's a ways off, but I don't think I want to move it up. If things go badly, we'll move it up. I really do want to invade down there. Okay, well, I think these guys are going to run back to port. We're going to airstrike them. This is overkill, but, well, no, it wasn't. Much overkill as I was thinking it would be. They're going to guard the port from any other possible invasion. These guys are going to come over here and push on them. They're going to continue to lose readiness, lack of supply. They'll be ready for next turn. Yeah, that's pretty solid. A lot of solid situations there. Do I have? Yes. Okay. I want that core. Australia, here you come. Enough to move one of these air units. Nope, didn't think so. But that's all right. We already have a fair amount of air. See, I want to do sort of the opposite of what, I want to do what basically these guys are doing. Let's build another one for Britain, and we'll just, I know we could build two, but we'll build one there. I want to deploy communications deployment. Get a low level intelligence. 13 ships, unknown number of ships. Yeah, these guys are just so weak right now. Only at 6, at 6. I want to get a bunch of land-based air, pound them with that, and then come in with the two battle groups, both with carriers, and really hit them hard. Hey, Gunner Jorgen, how you doing? Yes, yes, it is that. It's WarPlan Pacific, as the title says. Alvaro is the dev for it, and I think he's done a really good job at making something that is not as detailed. So, and I was saying earlier, if you're familiar with WarPlan Pacific and you're looking for something of that detail, this isn't a replacement. If you want something a little less detail, because it's a little daunting, takes a lot to learn and do, this is probably better for you. Or if you want both, I'm not a salesman here. I'm just, presenting the games, and then you can decide whether they're for you. If you want something that's a little faster playing, sometimes like this, that's a bit more simplified, but still rather sophisticated, then you have this. Or if you want the more detailed WarPlan Pacific. So yeah, it's just a measure of what you want to play. You purchase more escorts. So you have things like oilers that will extend your naval operations, truck supply, which the term truck supply comes from, WarPlan based in Europe, but you can still use it for, oversupplying, units in port hexes here. It just means additional supply, really. And air transport, do we have any air transport coming? One. So I'm really trying to build up my 150 days. Do we have any Paris coming yet? No. We have Marines. Marines are great for island hopping and doing a lot of that. Maybe we should do some Paris. Get some Paris under training, as it were. Paratrooper Corps. Yeah, we got enough. Yeah, let's do that. Give more tactical. Yeah, this is a midpoint. There's more simplified games, obviously, than this. One famously would be, Axis and Allies or whatever. Obviously, very simplified, but does it suit your needs? And that's what I'm just trying to show off to people here. If this is the game for you, and also history lessons and whatnot while playing. Okay, so we want to, oh no, beer. Okay, well, we want to build up a stockpile. Canada, we're slowly building up stockpiles there. What's good about places like Canada, well, they don't have much manpower. India has a lot of manpower and it's growing. So you want to build up its stockpile to then see about bringing in a core like that. And that's about About right, because another large core would be useful. Yep. Because we can just be, well, we'll just do this. We can run out of, say, like British manpower. Rather good. Japan did a naval invasion down here. Yeah, was overstretching things. We were a bit weaker at the time, but America was building up its ground forces and slowly getting in theater. For some reason, it did rush in and it fall back the HQ unit. So it's pretty decent. And well, this gives a good little opportunity here. Copy. Paste. You can check out my YouTube channel, and I have an earlier playthrough with an earlier build version of this, a pre-release build version. This is with the released plus the first patch. Take a look at what it's doing there. So it's pretty good. And you can, of course, you have to play all of the allies or all of the Axis. I'm ignoring Russia because I just don't think I'm going to get that late. And Japan's keeping enough forces up here to keep Russia out of the war. But you have to play all of the, the Chinese, the British, or you play all of the Axis, which is basically Japan with Siam. So, but you can play, play versus an opponent if you wish. I just want to come in and hit these guys because, yeah, giving you guys some action, like some, attack these battle groups up here. But what's the point? They just drove off my submarines, which were limiting supply in here. I'm going to kill this unit anyways. So I don't have a good objective here. I want to come in and hit them with overwhelming power and destroy them, or at least escort you in another invasion somewhere else. So they're using that quite well. Okay, we can deploy this other core here for the United States. Them down in San Diego. Yep. We're ready to end the turn. Don't worry, it'll start showing us. Yeah, now it's just sort of wandering around trying to avoid contact for a while and cutting off supply routes. So it's not entirely, the AI is not entirely predictable. Like I was surprised by the invasion of Australia with 2 cores and an HQ. It's not perfect. I mean, it hasn't taken these 2 resource locations for oil. Don't know why. I mean, it should be able to find the transports and do an invasion, and that or just walk a unit there eventually. But it's challenging. It's challenging me. I firmly have the idea that I'm, as the Western Allies' eventual victory, but that's just maybe my arrogance of the superiority of America at the time, more than, quite honestly, more than my great battle planning. Just build up enough carriers and battle groups and advancement and things like interceptors and whatnot. You have a whole research tree here. That's Britain's, there's the US, Soviet Union, China. Obviously, we're not doing Japan, but those are the only nations that can make any progress. Well, this is pretty much stalemated. Four to 1, and just because they get to survive. Right, okay, well. 3 to 1. Oops. You see, I do that. I forget to do initial air attacks. No, oh, we should have done that. We've had some more damage. Oh well. Okay. Maybe sometimes I should be forgetting because I don't do it so well. Five to 1, and we get to take the port back. Okay, so we've defeated the naval or the invasion, naval invasion. Obviously, that core is going to go down. It doesn't really matter at this point. So now we need to start looking at pursuing more offensive actions once we get units into. And it really does, once we get units into the area, it really does help to plan things out, know what you're going to be doing. Right now, I mean, I reacted to this invasion here, but it's mostly just building up your forces and then getting ready for like an invasion in Henderson Field. It would be best to, set my fleet out here big enough, strong enough that it defeats all comers coming in, but we will see about that. Thinking about this. Nope. Not going to do that. Not good enough reasons to. This is the British HQ here. Let's come to there for now. Oh, we haven't. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have another force down there. Unload these guys. Come up to here. Next turn, they'll board the ships. Okay, they're getting some of their strength back now that I'm not using them every turn. Well, Australia's slower to repair. Okay, we've got. No, they're still working on Prince of Wales and Repulse. And Canberra Squadron. Right, okay. Yeah, I think it's safe to get it up here. And we want to unload. Because we're going to want to load more up from here. We can look at partisan activity in China here. So these temporarily cut supply off. They will fade because they're not like an actual chip on the map. And the Japanese will get back control. But if they want it quicker, they'll march units in there. So it can affect them a bit on their, operations. It's not really crippling, but it does have an effect. Okay. Continue to build up stockpile of resources. Yeah. I want air superiority when I'm moving around in here. I should get some more boilers. We'll get another one coming right there. Okay, the 1st Marine Division is ready. Well, no, don't have the extra. Transport should be able to transport anything else right now. Let's build another communication group for the US. For when we get ready, I do want to do a good picture of what's going on. Yep, it's all looking good. It's sort of not terribly exciting. We had some close moments. No, I don't do that. We're good enough there. I think they're going to push in here. Seeing that very strong army with the engineering specialty that helps it get across, fights across the river. So, nope, they pushed me back. Okay, and they hit there. You see the AI thinking up at the top. Well, it pulled out of here. Don't know why per se, but okay. Well, 10 to 1. There we go. It shatters. We'll just make sure we reconnect everything this turn. If they were to hit here, move in that into there, then they would be surrounding this unit. But then they could maybe push here and cut that unit off. Could become a problem. I'm not saying it is, it could. Now, I'm going to move the fighter groups first to Australia. I know I've been focusing on the cores. But now that we no longer have ground combat active, we want to be ready to come in. Now, what I want to do is get some fighters in here. They're coming. Get some fighters into these two air bases in here to deal with the enemy aircraft before I move mine in. Got to try to think and plan. I know I just want to rush, go, but got to try to think and plan. That's because you're really dealing with here. You just, for me, it's just try to get like points of advantage here, push or hold or whatever. Where here you've got to deal with naval, air, and ground forces and get them all in. They're just completely ignored here, so I want to maybe get forces up to here. Instead of pushing here at Henderson Field, at Guadalcanal, I should say. This is the Solomon Islands chain here. Get some air forces up into here. A ground unit, just one of these Australian ones probably, to hold here. And flank them. Yeah, that may be the idea. Instead of going historical and trying to push up this way, because they've not taken here and they've not taken up here and here, these should be much easier to, because this is their main naval base up here at Truk. We can see level 7 down here. We can see down here, level 7 naval base. That's their main naval base. Here at Rubal, we can, oh, it's an 8, so they can have a lot of forces supply through there. So I'm gonna have to watch that. But yeah, if I get in air power and lots of air power around all of that, yeah, that's what, and we can fly a lot of that in, and I don't have to transport it in. And what's important is the air power is not putting troops on these islands and ports. It's garrison force. Yeah, you may walk these guys, or walk one of the guys up in here to Lahi. Yeah, I got to think about it. Got to be prepared. Okay, British got a destroyer unit in. The USA got much more in here. Right, that's all that we can deploy this turn. Here, then we're going to port for next turn. No, I want. What do we have? It'll be here next turn, I guess. Okay. Got what we can moving there. India, okay, good. They're building up their oil supply. Very good. I think we're just going to have a turn of stockpiling for the USA. Okay, that's fully defeated. We're looking at what we're doing there. Those are okay. Conditions. Am I forgetting? Yeah, I am forgetting. See. Building a larger fleet there, so we're not entirely petrified of Japan. So yeah, these guys can move together. Right. Yep, I'm going to save this here. Yes, save. Okay, let's give the Japanese their turn. Well, that's right, we didn't move back up to the front line here, but that probably won't matter here. They can reorganize themselves this turn and move up next. So if they move this, especially if they move the division that's weak in there, you can crush it. They move the army in there. Might be a bit of a problem. Might. We have paratroopers. Paratrooper Corps. So I would think the Paratrooper Corps would be better to use it to, jump and secure some of the Pacific Islands or something. Hey, thanks for following. And mentioning that. Okay. Mentioned that. Obviously, I know I did post it earlier, but I'll post it again here. Link to my YouTube channel. You can subscribe over there and get earlier episodes of this playthrough, as well as my earlier playthrough and many other Slithering games. And of course, if you just want to follow me on my Twitch channel, which I normally stream on the weekends. Okay, allies deliver oil production storage facilities improvement available, plus 40 oil up here, right here. So we're getting lots and lots of oil. The U.S. oil is coming online. So if we set up with enough merchant vessels, we can transfer it to wherever, and all of America and all of their allies will have basically complete freedom of operation when it comes to fuel elements. Yeah. There we go. Okay, well. Nope. Yep, the fighters. See these fighters. We're going to risk coming up here, and then we're going to look. Unload, you'll come to there. We want to get the fighters in. You come to here, and you unload. So we'll get the fighter units like here and here. This can base them. This can base them here. This is just so that you understand. And I didn't at first. This one is a single level port, as we can see down here. So it's a very, very poor port, but it is a port, and it has an air base there. So we can base. I didn't know that it was an air base, but we can base out of there. We can base out of here, base out of several of these, and have a huge amount of air to either pound the Japanese in their ports, or just simply react to any movements they do. Got 2 air units here. The more they move away from here, and as we okay, landing ships. Well, November. So November, it'll be a little while longer, but when we get that, we can see about an attempt at naval invasion here. Cutting all these, because if you understand the way this works, okay, let me just quick explain. They're getting their supplies through this railway, through this port, all these units here. So if we cut the railway by taking this port, and we put a fleet out here, we cut naval supplies. Now they can either bring in their fleet or pound it with whatever air units they have in the area. Well, my hope, and I still have, you can see here, deployment coming here. Well, let's see, we have the Essex coming here in December. 42 there in November, so not that far away. And then the Independent CVL Light. So if we can get at least one of these carriers over here, we can, along with the one that's here, and maybe be able to stave off air attacks and or naval attacks, especially if we're being aggressive over here. We can cut all the supplies to all of these forces, and they'll weaken, and then we can push on them. So they'll be trapped. They'll get very little supply coming through, not enough to keep them up to full strength, just, randomly coming through the jungle. So cutting them off will be very useful. So that's what I want to do. I want to cut them off. And then I want to push down here and take out Singapore for ourselves. Like I was saying, I want to get in here with a bunch of air units and then see about pushing. Whether we go after Rabaul or we come in and we just try to deal with the naval forces, we will see. And just continue to tie up troops in China is the big plan. Well, we've gone about 8 minutes over time. It was just scheduled for an hour and a half today. I'm happy to go a bit over time. I guess if you guys had questions, you would be asking them. I always encourage interacting with the group. So I want to thank you all for being here. And